I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bar.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
It's so unfortunate.
You gotta pull back though, so they can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look. Would you
Get the drink on his head.
And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is a actual DJs aren't supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him. I put him to sleep.
Next day, right?
You put the drink on his head.
There you go. There it is.
Damn.
Like a Diddy party, Diddy party. No party like a Diddy party, Diddy party. Like a Diddy party, Diddy party. No party like a Diddy party, Diddy party. It's like a Diddy party, Diddy party. No party like a Diddy party, Diddy party.
P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no, 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 no. Tell him no, 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 no. And you gotta tell him no, no,
Diddy party,
no, no, no. Tell him no, no,
Diddy party.
no. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Now, unless you was on Cloud 10 under a rock, I heard the motherfucking word. What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, HeartBreak Ace. Familiar with my content or not, hit that like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm gets breaking content every time I upload. Cause you know me and algorithm always getting into it. Pause. But I beat him up real bad the other day, man. I mean, it was bad, dog. But I think he trying to get the drop on me, y'all. For real. Cause I got a phone call early in the morning, and it was like, it went like this. Phone ring, I answer. Who the f*** is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawn, now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold from my eye. See who is this paging me and why. Man, he ain't do nothing but breathe on the phone heavy. Like Baby D, man. And hung up the phone. Scary as usual. So I think it was the algorithm. Or he tried to get some his friends to try to jump in or whatever, but they all scared. Just make sure he get y'all this video so y'all can like and subscribe, man. But nah, topic at hand. I try to word the title a little different because YouTube a little sensitive. And I can understand, especially dealing with this topic. But apparently, the dealer, Shine, Brother Love, I gotta bring this news to the congregation for Brother Love. Shine Puffy Combs, Baby Oil, Baby Huey, Bandit. He's on suicidal watch. He's on suicidal watch. Apparently, he has some attempts at his life. And this ain't just no story just because it's P. Diddy. Because if you don't know how the justice system works, or the penal system in prison, they got to do evacuation when you come in there before they put you. They got to see where they're going to place you at, what rooms they're going to place you at, what treatment you might need and all that, whether they're good at it or not. That's when you first get in there. And you got to know they're going to go through all the precautions dealing with somebody of his stature. So they did that evacuation with him, and it was determined that he needed to be on suicidal watch. Now, the spooky part of even more, he's incarcerated in hell right now. And if he failed for the next bail that he gonna try to get, then he gonna stay in jail until the end of his trial. If he beat it. If he don't beat it, then last week or the weekend prior was his last time as a free man. You can guarantee you that. Trust me. But the other part that make it even spooky is he's incarcerated the same place that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide at. Notice the air quotes. I'll get back to that later. Before I even break down any more of this, I'm gonna let you hear what the news reports had to say about this situation. So you already know what it is with me. I don't like when the op be on the block, especially when I'm trying to inform y'all with these videos, man. So if you want to come along with me and you ain't scared, let's ride. You can have your mask on and mask off. It don't matter. I'm coming with mine off because, you know, I ain't never scared. That's just how I do it. Let's spin the block.
Not only is P. Diddy behind bars, but now he's on suicide watch in one of the most dangerous jails in the country. Here's everything we know so far about Diddy's life on the inside. I'm Sierra Gillespie, and this is Law and Crime News. It's been a big week for 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs, kicking it off with a federal indictment on Monday, and now we're getting word that he's on suicide watch. He's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, in the Eastern New York Judicial District, much to the dismay of his legal team. Earlier this week, Diddy filed for bond 2 separate times, his attorneys writing in the motions that MDC is not fit for pretrial detention. They even requested he be transferred out of New York to Essex County in New Jersey, but it was ultimately up to the Bureau of Prisons to decide where he ended up. According to Diddy's legal team, an inmate was murdered at MDC just this summer, and at least 4 inmates have died by suicide over the past 3 years. Now, their client is on suicide watch, meaning he's separated from traditional prison housing. It's unclear whether he's actually suicidal or if it's just a safety precaution, but we do know a mental health professional visits his cell at least several times a day. The U.S. Department of Justice Institute of Corrections describes suicide watch as supervisory precautions taken for suicidal inmates that require frequent observation. So what does all that mean? For that, we go to criminal defense attorney Mike Corbanics. One of the reasons that P. Diddy's attorneys were saying we don't want him there is because they say it's really dangerous. There have been suicides, there have been murders, apparently. Is that true? Do you think it's a pretty dangerous place?
All jails are dangerous depending on who the inmate is, quite frankly. So, I mean, it's a high-profile case. Nobody knows where the case is really going and what it really entails yet. So I would assume that they're just being overcautious because he's not like your average defendant. He's a very well-known person who has a lot of prestige, and it would be interesting to see what goes on in the jail with him. But I'm sure he's going to need a little bit more of protective coverage in the jail.
I'm wondering if that's why they placed him on suicide watch now, kind of what you were saying, protective coverage, because he is such a high-profile inmate. Do you think that could be part of it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going from a life where you live in a mansion to going to sit in a jail facility is not something easy to deal with.
Also, whenever we're thinking about cases like this, the big federal ones and just similar allegations, I go to Jeffrey Epstein. And obviously, we know what happened there. He never was able to make it to trial because he died by suicide. Is that something that everyone is trying to avoid here, to make sure that any of the inmates don't actually die by suicide?
Well, of course. I mean, a jail has a responsibility. It's a jail. People in that jail are being held, they're presumed innocent, and there's responsibility, since the person's not free to do what they want, to protect them and to make sure that they're mentally stable and that they're protected.
When I heard suicide watch, my mind went to Rex Heuermann, who's the alleged Go-Go Beach killer. Obviously, he is still presumed innocent at this time, but I do recall after he was arrested, he was placed on suicide watch. And I'm wondering if that's just kind of another thing, because it was a big case, a big name, that he was not suicidal at the time, and it's possible now that P. Diddy isn't suicidal.
That's something that's very difficult to really answer, because we're not doing the interviews of the inmate. The inmate gets an evaluation when they come in. They get checked for their health, their physical health, as well as their mental health. And that's where those sort of decisions are made. It's not just sort of something because it's P. Diddy, we're putting him in. They have to have some sort of facts to substantiate that.
Let's say moving forward that they determine, okay, he's fine, he is not a risk for suicide, he's good to go. Do you think that P. Diddy could ever be placed in general population? Obviously, he's someone that a lot of people know. First of all, high profile, but then also he's got some pretty severe allegations that he's up against. Would he be safe in Gen Pop?
That's a very difficult question. I think because of if I was his attorney, I would want to make sure that he was being kept in a place where he's safe and not be used as some sort of way that some inmate may want to just move their street credibility, for lack of a better term, by just saying, yeah, I went after P. Diddy because, he wasn't supposed to be doing those things and all that. So it's a very difficult situation when someone that famous and well known in this kind of case is put into general population. So it's going to be a major concern for the institution that is holding them.
Now,
all right, y'all, we back. We had a little quick swerve around the block, man. We had to see what they was talking about with Diddy, man. We heard that information. Now, I had to say this right here. Before I really even get deep into that situation, pause, about Diddy and his antics. You want to know what's funny? First of all, before I even mention that, man, I would be heartbroken if my all-time GOAT that I mentioned since I ever put my face on any camera or breath into this, and I got my own personal reasons since a 5-year-old why my all-time GOAT, it's always been Jay-Z. And I know he's a businessman just like Diddy, and they had a close acquaintance because of that, from being from New York, the top dogs. I truly hope it ain't no footage of you being involved with anything dealing with this situation. And I'm talking about Sean Carter. Because as much as I love you, pause, looked up to you since I was 5. I didn't have my father. I was listening to you as a kid, and that just resonated with me. So you kind of was my father through music. And now that I'm a grown man and I don't follow nobody, not even you, but I still respect you as the icon for me, I truly hope you are not in none of this footage that they got with Diddy, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot starting to unravel now. But if you are, everything I ever thought about you will be out the window. And then it will be my second GOAT for me, Drake. It will be him. Until some bullshit come on with him that's actual proof. So I pray that it ain't you. But you wanna know something that's funny? Speaking of Drake, when they initiated the beef with him, with Kendrick and all of them, and he came out with the Push-Ups song, the OG version is the version that was like raw and not really unedited, which most of people like, including myself, love that. The original version that was first heard on the internet. He had a line when he said something about Rick Ross, when he was like worrying about what such and such doing, and the name was blanked out. He was saying Puff name. He said Puff, as in P. Diddy. And you wanna know some shit that's funny, man? Rick Ross always been, especially lately, he always been in the camera, roasting, got so much to say to 50 Cent, so much to say to Drake, buttoning into this situation. Just did an interview with Carisha Please, and he trying to spread his muscle. He just did an interview with Shannon Sharp, trying to flex. But you know what? Ever since this Diddy situation, where's Rick Ross? It's even funny, his artist that he had signed was Meek Mill. And Meek Mill just dropped a freestyle. Because every time that something goes on, he dropping music. But it's funny, I don't see Rick Ross. I mean, we already know how Meek Mill was with him in the pool and all of that. We heard the stories. But what about Ross? Y'all remember how close they was? Let's spin the block again.
Is that my brother? Yes. Homie Diddy in the motherfucking promised land. Y'all know it's going down, man. We talking big money, big moves. This that 2022 shit.
I ain't gonna lie. Niggas be talking like they getting money and like they got taste and they got style and savoir-faire. But goddamn, when God made this nigga here, woo, 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 the boy cold. The boy cold, man. You gotta give it to him, man. Thank God made a rosé. Somebody had to do it. Shit! Black man is doing this. This is Niggerati. That's the name of our album we got coming out. Called Niggerati. Alright? It's coming to you. Niggerati. Rosé in love.
That nigga say Niggerati.
Niggerati.
Big stones.
I got so many ideas for this house. It's housewarming gifts. Man, I'm gonna get you a giraffe. If you shoot a commercial, nigga.
I like the commercial. That's what we doing right now.
Man, this is lovely. We just walking and shit. love this shit, the fuck? Yo, I always love to run like on open fields.
Stop running. He won't stop running. He won't. You got 300 acres of running. Still running. He's still running.
Wanna lose this relationship, but I gotta stay strong, cause I don't wanna move on. I know you sick and tired of the fussing. I don't.
You already know we spent the block. I had to pause for a second. You that my brother? God made a rose. Oh Lord. What was all that? You love being on the camera, Rose. Boss. Lemon pepper. Car show. You love being on the camera. BBL Drizzy. Where you at, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. And I already said, if my goat hole got anything to do with this situation and it's proven, it'll be fuck him too. But as far as him not being around or on camera, if you know Jay-Z, he been like that since the beginning of his career. He always been that mystique type of person. Even if you could say, tell him to suck a dick on camera, he's not really gonna respond until he feel like it. And it'll probably be almost a year later or way longer. He's just very strategic. Very. And that's why people would say that they think that he got something to do with this. But what side is he on? Was he on the opposite side? Strategically finding a way to help the oppositions of Diddy take him down so he can be the ultimate billionaire? Could it be that? Who knows? I prefer it to be that before I prefer it to be him being involved with all this shit. I'm sorry. Either one of them is bad because it's like you play your mans and to do some shit. But if he was doing that, I don't give a fuck. But just the idea of playing him supposed to be your nigga for the police would be fucked up, what I'm trying to say. But if he helped them for him doing that type of shit, I do not blame him. And I hope if he's involved, that is that. So we can't even say nothing about that. He barely even be on the camera. Barely. Even when he promoting, he barely on the camera. He move a certain way. But Rick Ross, he's always on camera. Where you at? Now, I won't be surprised from the time y'all seen this video that y'all see Rick Ross show up on camera. Because if I noticed it, everybody else noticed it. And there's a lot of names involved with this situation that have not been released yet. But some of the names starting to come out. I don't know if y'all been under a rock for real, but it's a lot of names been mentioned. The Obamas. Yeah. Barack and Michelle. It's a lot of incidents with them. It's even a situation where they said it was John Legend and his wife. They had sexual relations with Michelle and Barack. And that came out of John Legend and his wife Chrissy Teigen's mouth themselves. That came out of their mouth. Diddy also had a party for him, a celebration. And some would say that it was around that time. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about either still? Well, the op probably at this party too. Because there's a lot of shit go on in these Diddy parties. Let's get a behind the scene look. Spin the block again. One of the greatest.
Alright, stop the music. Okay, check this out. Let's wake up. This is November 5th. It's my birthday party, and we got the first black president in this motherfucker. Y'all know what the fuck we about to do. We're gonna turn this shit into what it's supposed to be. This is black excellence. Shout out to all my brothers in suits. Ladies up, all the brothers who good in suits when they dress up. Yeah. Man, we gonna tear this motherfucker down. Hey! Come on! You go, girl, just work it. We do that with you all night. Happy birthday, boy! Cassidy! know what this is. This is a celebration of black excellence. This is a celebration, this is a victory celebration of Barack Obama. Everybody in here has made a difference. Look, I want y'all right now to realize where we at. It's a new day.
All right, y'all, we back, man. Like, I went to that party. I had to sneak in, and I ain't stayed long. 5 minutes. I saw I annihilated him. I got him, and I went fuck up out of there. I had to go. Don't come looking for me for none of this shenanigans. Now, if you big on energy like I am, I'm very spiritual. Even through the video, you can just feel the dark energy in that room or that party. The dancers doing sexual dances that's different than normal dances for dancers. To be on the front, it just looked different. It feels different. And a lot of people say he got a house behind his house. It's a giant ass bed. And these are facts. It's a lot going on with this guy, man. A lot. And like I keep saying, like, the only way you can feel sorry for this nigga a little bit is he was grooming himself since he was young. This is definitely something that was done to him. It turned him into a monster. I said this plenty of times. The ones that gave him his chance into the music industry are the same ones that trained him and taught him how to be and how to become successful and the things that you got to endure to become who he became. And it turned him into a monster. These same underage kids that he feel comfortable molesting and doing things like that of that nature, it was done to him. You gotta believe this. He was already known and rich and famous back in the 90s when it was hard to be that. He was a black owner of a label, running shit. After he got fired as an intern. And out of the break of a day, like, he become this guy like that. And he been winning forever until now. He ain't just do that just because they like this nigga, because he dance good. Nah, ain't none of that. He had to do the same things. And if you ain't hear the rumors about Clyde Davis and the history of Clyde Davis, then you lost. I mean, he even came out his own mouth said he was bisexual for one. He admitted that after his second wife. This is not no rumors. This is facts. He said it himself. Clyde Davis is the one that gave Diddy his chance. Clyde Davis is a well-known billionaire. He's still walking around about to croak over, but he's still walking around. And they probably still have a relationship, I'm pretty sure of, behind the scenes. But a lot would say that Diddy was his sexual partner. By which this ain't what this about. We don't care who you have sex with. It's the way you doing it. And that's what's ugly about it. Because everything forcibly done. Even the people that you got on these tapes, you gotta feel, cause some of these guys are like real known rappers that actually ain't even gay or bisexual. But from the reports, if you tell Diddy no, he get angry and force you to do things. And for the ones that's macho like this, he drug them with drugs that they impossible for them to say no. And even if they say no, they can't fight back. That's what he been doing to people. That's how he been getting guys. Like even if he got Meek Mill. Because I truly believe, however we feel about Meek Mill, I truly believe that he ain't even like that. But I'm hearing that's how he got Meek Mill. Drugging him, his drinks. Spiked it. And then he took advantage of him. And for what I'm hearing, he did a lot of people like that. And it's on footage because he was using it for blackmail. So it's a lot of people, politicians, it's a lot of people wouldn't even, the whole Kardashian family tied in with him with some type of evil thing they was doing too. I might make a story about that as well. But it's a lot. And when they start bringing out this proof, this evidence, that's when it's going to get spooky, man. And there ain't nothing nobody going to be able to say once it come out. But like I said, I feel sorry for some people because Diddy just trapped him. And that's just fucked up to be that type of person to do that to another human being without their consent. Like, just drug them to, even if they saying no, they can't do anything about it. So after you do what you do to them, it's too late. They just have to accept it at that point. And that's fucked up. So, he don't want to commit suicide, I can imagine, because it ain't only just him with what he did. It's the fact that the people that know, oh, he had a camera. It's higher up people that don't want this to come out. So they're going to try to get Diddy touched before he start doing this. Because he either going to do that or he going to off himself. And let's just be real. And it's ironic that he's a Harlem nigga locked up in Brooklyn about to commit suicide. From those that's from New York, you know. Now, that's spooky. But you know, man, as more and more the news come out, I'm going to just keep giving y'all more and more. This is what I do, man. I like to inform and entertain my people, man. Now, I stay non-stop with it. Pause. Now, don't think that because I got this sweater on that I'm bad hygiene. Listen, this is an everyday pullover sweater type. I wear different clothes every day. When you get a little chill, I want to put something that match and coordinate with my clothes, and I love this sweater. So don't confuse that, okay? I just had to say that before I end this video, man. I ain't one of you dirty ass niggas that Diddy probably seeing in the jail right now. But leave a comment down below, let me know how y'all feel for real. Man, you know, this world keeps showing me every day and showing y'all what I always say. Love each other. Till next time. Yours truly, HeartBreak.